All right, you guys know the drill. Buy a shirt. What's going on? I am Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today we're going to recap the New York Jets and Philadelphia Eagles Week 5 matchup down in Philly. But before we get started, I just wanted to mention that you can follow me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And we already got a merch plug out of the way. Hashtag Fire Adam Gase. I know the circumstances aren't the best when you have Luke Falk playing quarterback and your offensive line stinks, but we're going to go through the motions of why he has done an awful job at getting anything at all out of this offense. The Jets start with the ball, and their first drive went about as normally planned at this point. First play, run into the A gap. Second play, Le'Veon Bell into the A gap. You're set up on 3rd and long, and then you take a sack. Winters looked absolutely terrible. And so did the rest of the Jets' offensive line, who was downright disgraceful, even with putting in Chuma Edoga and swapping out Kelechi Osalemi on the left side. On the first drive, the Jets' defense didn't look good at all. They couldn't stop anyone. Trumaine Johnson especially, who was beat down the field multiple times in this game and on this first drive. Why he was starting, I don't know. On this drive, to help extend the drive, he was beat by the backup tight end. Goddard beat him, a backup tight end, and to make matters worse, he held on the play. One of multiple penalties on this play. There was defensive pass interference, there was holding, there was illegal contact. Anything and everything under the sun went wrong for Trumaine Johnson here today. And luckily, he got bailed out from a couple of overthrows from Carson Wentz in this game as well. So Howard punches it in, and the Eagles go up 7-0 rather quickly. No surprise there. Now the Jets have the ball, and they have it around the 50-yard line, a little bit over. So it's 4th and 1, and obviously this is a position where the New York Jets should be going for it. They are out of field goal range. They are an 0-3 team. You go for it. I agree with this call 100%. I'm aligned with Adam Gase here. What I'm not aligned with is a play-action pass, and then you throw to that same player that you fake the handoff to. That's exactly what happened, and a pick six ensued. Down 14-0 early in the first still. We just talked about a 4th down play. Later on in the first half, what the Jets ended up doing was they had a 4th and short opportunity, and what they did was they were forced to take a timeout because they got the offense on the field at first. It looked like they were going to go for it. And I said, okay, this is the right move. It's a 55-yard field goal into the wind. Then they switch and want to put the kicker out there, and then they're forced to take a timeout because they got lined up wrong. So now, more time to think about it. Is Adam Gase going to put the offense back on the field? No, he doubles down, sends out the kicker, kicking a 55-yard field goal into the wind, down 14 points, on 4th and short, and he misses wide. The Jets defense actually looked pretty good today, and in the first half too, especially after that first drive, they really settled in. Besides Trumaine Johnson getting continuously beat and underperforming guys on the defensive line, looking at you, Leonard Williams, the Jets played okay. Actually better than okay. They played a pretty good defensive game. Tyler Basham honestly looks like the best Jets defensive lineman, which is scary when you think that Quinnen Williams and Leonard Williams were both drafted in the top 10. Towards the end of the first half, Luke Falk is picked off for the second time, and this jump starts the Eagles offense a little bit. They march down the field. Too easy for Zach Ertz, who is able to beat Darryl Roberts. Eagles go up 21-0 at the half. At this point, you're down 21 points. You're going to think, okay, maybe take some shots down the field, do something differently on offense. No, it was more of the same. In the third quarter, the New York Jets at this point ran 20 offensive plays. 17 of them went to Le'Veon Bell. That's 85% of touches going to Le'Veon Bell. I'm all for, 1, the Jets signing Le'Veon Bell, and 2, giving him a significant amount of touches, but the caveat here is when you're giving the ball 85% of the time, it's not going to make him effective. You have to spread the ball around. You have to get it to Robbie Anderson, Jamison Crowder, and Bilal Powell finally got his first carry, and Ty Montgomery didn't get his first touch until 2 minutes left in the game. That's on the coach and the scheme. You could argue all day long about how bad the offensive line is, how bad the quarterback is, but it goes down to the scheme and the personnel as well. He's not utilizing everyone on this team. It's inexplicable that Bilal Powell and Ty Montgomery go 3+ quarters without an offensive touch. Getting back to the defense momentarily, again, they made another nice play on 4th and 1. They were able to stop a quarterback sneak from Carson Wentz on 4th and 1, and they really stood pretty tall. And that was the theme for the Jets defense. And the pretty much the Jets overall, was they were good. They bended but didn't break. And everyone pretty much outside of Leonard Williams and Tremaine Johnson had a pretty solid day. The Eagles would settle for a field goal later on and go up 24-0. After that, the Jets get the ball in good field position because for some reason Nelson Aguilar decides to get near a punt and touch it, and the Jets recover. Jets are gift-wrapped at beautiful field position, and for the first time in 3 games, the New York Jets score an offensive touchdown. They nearly went 3 full games without scoring an offensive touchdown. It was Vince Smith, just like everyone would have guessed. They do an end around, which, yay, a little bit more creative, doing something different, and they're able to score. They go for 2, don't get it. 24-6 now is your score. One more mishap for Luke Falk before he injured himself. He would get strip sacked, and they would return it for a touchdown. Scandrick was able to pick up the ball and rumble in with it, and they would go up 31-6, which would be your final score on the day. The New York Jets dropped to 0-3 with a 31-6 loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, a downright dumpster fire performance from the New York Jets offense. Again, a positive is the defense only giving up 17 points to a pretty good offense in the Philadelphia Eagles. It's just the offense just could not keep this game close whatsoever. They really couldn't do anything. I get it. Luke Falk is bad. I get it. The offensive line is bad. They allowed 10 sacks. 10. The Eagles came into today with 3. They more than tripled their season sack total today. 10 sacks in one game is unbelievable. They are that bad. I know I've been saying that Luke Falk, the quarterback, is terrible. I know I've been saying the offensive line is terrible, but this is still not an excuse for Adam Gase. You look around the league and backup quarterbacks and third-string quarterbacks are making plays. Look at Carolina. Look at Jacksonville. Look at the Steelers. All 3 of those teams are winning games with backup quarterbacks. Or even if you're not winning, they are at least competitive. You can't have this label as an offensive guru and be this bad offensively for this long. It is now 7 games in a row where his offense has failed to put up 20 points or more. His offense is stunk. They've been terrible. He has 4 touchdowns in his last 7 games as head coach. Again, if you want to say that you're an offensive mastermind, you are supposed to overcome these obstacles on offense, and the New York Jets haven't done that. If anything, this more proves my original point from earlier in the year wrong, when I said that Greg Williams was overrated. So far, through the first 4 weeks, he's been miles better than Adam Gase. His defense has Tremaine Johnson, who is a walking penalty and way overpaid. He has one of the most underperforming defensive tackles in the league, and Leonard Williams, who again just picked up 1 tackle today. He's got 4 tackles in 4 games and 0 sacks. So much for a generational talent. He's down his 2 inside linebackers, and somehow his defense is keeping this team in games for the most part until it gets way out of control. They played well against the Browns. There were at points where they played good against the Patriots. And then this week, against a very good offense in the Philadelphia Eagles, they held them to 17 points. Your offense has to pick up your defense at times. Has to. And they just haven't. Listen, I know that Sam Darnold has to come back. And yes, maybe I'm getting a little ahead of myself with saying fire Adam Gase right now. But at the end of the year, if this is the trend here and the Jets offense continues to struggle this much, I can't go through another year with Adam Gase as head coach. You just can't do it. The offense has been brutally bad, historically bad, and he makes head-scratching decisions on a weekly basis. Have you noticed a difference from the Todd Bowles era? I haven't. This is the exact same underachieving New York Jets team, and they look terrible. And something has to change. Next week, they are going to take on the Dallas Cowboys. Let me know down below what you thought of today's massacre and anything else, or you can get at me on social media at Matt O'Leary NY. This was a rough one, ladies and gentlemen. This has been a really rough start to the New York Jets season. Talk to you guys next time.